Hi guys, so Dr. Rahul this side. So in this series we will discuss about questions and statements. Actually, I will be taking your reasoning and logical analysis, coding, decoding, right? Then your series analytical ability, comprehension. So all these things I will discuss with you in this series, right? So in this particular video I will discuss about questions and statements, right? I will also talk in Hindi in between, right? One sec. Okay, let's take a fresh page. So today we will discuss about questions and statements. So almost every state exams has reasoning and analytical ability in the question sets, right? So these are very important topics, and this case a chunk of marks, right? So in this topic actually क्या होता है that exam let us take an example, right, and try to understand how questions are set up from this topic. So say there's a question, right, like who is brother. I'm giving an example, right, so as to understand what type of questions are asked from here. Who is brother of B? This is an example, right? So this is your question asked. Now with it two statements are provided, two statements, right? So one reminder guys, this is not for NEET PG or NEET UG exams. This is for state PSC exams or UPSC exams, right? Statements, right? तो statement जैसे कि एक statement they can give like B is brother of A. This is one statement. Another statement is B's father is husband of A's mother, right? So our question was who is brother of B? We have to find B's brother, right? And statement 1 is B is brother of A, right? And statement 2 is B's father is husband of A's mother, right? Okay, now there are 5 statements, there are 5 answers, out of which you have to select which answer it is. This is a choice type. Like see, first they will give that statement 1 is sufficient to answer the question, means statement 1 is sufficient for the conclusion. Second option they will give that statement 2 is sufficient for the conclusion. Next option is like either 1 or 2, any one of it is sufficient to derive to the conclusion. Option D is both 1 and 2 statement, both 1 and 2, right, are not sufficient. And fifth option is both 1 and 2 sufficient to derive to the conclusion. So I will say in Hindi like यहाँ पे पूछा गया है कि B का भाई कौन है, right? Who is the brother of B? One statement said that B is brother of A. It is A का भाई है B. Now from this statement we can say that B is brother of A. Now who is A? A may be either, it may be a boy or it may be a girl. That means A may be a brother or may be a sister of B. This is one thing we get from this statement, right? Now see the second statement. B's father is husband of A's mother. करेक्ट. सो इस स्टेटमेंट से हमको क्या मिलता है कि बी's फादर, बी का जो पिताजी है वो ए का जो माताजी है उनका हस्बैंड है, राइट. सो फ्रॉम स्टेटमेंट 2 we can say that both A and B both are children of single parents, because B's father is different, A's mother is different before marriage, right? So A and B are children of single parents, right? But see, A and B are children of single parents who got married later, and as legally they are now brothers or sisters, whatever, because we still don't know who is A. Maybe a boy, maybe a girl. So now question asked was, who is brother of B? Now from both the statements we still don't know who is A. Maybe a boy, maybe a girl. We only know two things, that A may be a boy, maybe a girl. B is brother of A, and A and B are children of single parents, and technically now legally B's father is husband of A's mother. These things we know, but we have no idea who is A. A may be brother of B, may be sister of B. So now if we choose from the options, option A says option 1 is enough to derive to the conclusion. No, it is not correct. Option A is not enough, means statement 1 is not enough, even statement 2 is not enough, even both the statements together is not enough, right? So the best answer will be option D, because none of the options together is enough, right? Neither this option is telling us who A is, neither this option. Both options are not telling us who A is, whether A is a boy or A is a girl. So we will see few more examples. So the thing is that in questions and statements, they ask a question, followed by it they give one or two statements, and then you have to choose your answer from 5 different conclusions, that which statement will helps you to derive the answer of that particular question asked, right? So we will see 10 more examples, and then we can understand it better. So for all these examples I will take one slide only, right? Because the choices will be same, questions, statement, answers will differ, right? We will see, like say first I will write here, right? Because this question will be same, you have to choose from here only, right? Statement, ST statement, right? I'm writing it is, this is statement 1 is sufficient. This means statement 1 is enough to tell us the answer. Second one is statement 2 is sufficient. Option C is statement 1 or 2, any one of them is sufficient. Option D is your both 1 and 2, both, right? Not sufficient. And option E is 1 and 2 Actually I will say it's are, right? Are sufficient. One second. Are sufficient. So you have to choose from these 5 only, right? Question, statements, answer will differ. So let us take one question that Lal is taller than Harry, right? Jim is taller than Harry. Now, who is the tallest among them? This was one of your question, right? They gave you two statements, statements 1 and statements 2. First statement says Jim taller one second, let me give another name, right? Lal is taller than Nand, right? Jim is taller than Harry, who is the tallest of them. First statement says Jim taller than Nand, right? And Lal taller than Harry. Now you have to choose from the choices, right? So see, I will take another pen. One second. Yes. So here it says Lal is taller than Nand, right? Again, in next one it says Jim is taller than Harry, correct? Now statement 1 says Jim is taller than Nand. So let us write here Jim is taller than Nand. Second statement, Lal is taller than Harry. So who is tallest? Now see, from this statement we can see Jim is taller, and from this statement, second statement, we can see Lal is taller. But from these two statements, can we say among these 4 persons which one of them is tallest? I think that's not possible. From these two statements we cannot say who among these is tallest, right? So we can choose the best option goes here is this one. 1 and 2 both are not sufficient to drive to the conclusion. First statement is Jim is taller than Nand. Second is Lal is taller than Harry. But with these two options, I cannot drive to any conclusion like who is tallest, right? I cannot say who is tallest. So best option is both of these statements are inconclusive. They are not sufficient to reach to the answer. दोनों ही sufficient नहीं है आंसर तक पहुंचने के लिए, right? Let us see another example. I will wrap this one. Okay. So let us discuss another one. So this question says in our school how many students of class 5 are there who play chess? So your statement 1 says no girl likes to play chess. And option 2, statement 2 says there are 40 students in class 5. Okay, try to solve this one, right? See, in our school, how many students of class 5 are there who play chess? How many students of class 5 play chess? This is your question. कितने लोग क्लास 5 में चेस खेलना पसंद करते हैं? Statement 1 says no girl likes to play chess. So with this statement, can we find out how many people play chess? I don't think so. So statement 1 is inconclusive. Then second statement says there are 40 students in class 5. 40 बच्चे हैं class 5 में. So इस स्टेटमेंट से कैन वी से हाउ मेनी स्टूडेंट्स प्ले चेस? आई डोंट थिंक सो. 40 बच्चे हैं, कितने चेस खेलते हैं? वी कैन नॉट से फ्रॉम हियर. सो बोथ स्टेटमेंट्स रिमेन इनकंक्लूसिव. सो आर यू गेटिंग हाउ टू सॉल्व इट? सो बोथ ऑप्शंस आर इनकंक्लूसिव और द आई कैन से बोथ स्टेटमेंट्स आर नॉट सफिशिएंट टू आंसर. So again, in this case, the choice of answers will be D. Both statement 1 and 2 are not sufficient, right, to answer the question. So are you getting how to solve this type of scenarios, questions, statements? Okay, let's move further. Okay, let's take another page. Now question number 3. Now we will go little tough towards the tougher topics, right? See, J is 10th student in class. So he is 10th student in the class. Now question asked is how many students are in class? टोटल कितने बच्चे हैं क्लास में? Statement 1 says his friend ranks 58. In that class, which is the last rank. And statement 2 says J ranks 49th. From opposite end or another end. Now you try to solve this one, right? Little tough. Okay, so let us try to solve it. So they told that J is the 10th student in the class. How many students are there in the class? This is your question. कितने बच्चे हैं total? Statement 1 says his friend ranks 58 in that class, which is the last rank. So last rank is 58, right? So total number of students in the class will be 58, right? So in this statement I can say that there are 58 number of students. Second statement says that J's rank 49th from the opposite end. So J ranks 49th from the another end, means from the other end, right? So from here also, can we find out how many students are there in the class? I hope so, because first line says J is 10th student in the class, right? So if I say J is 10th student in the class and he is ranking 49 from the opposite end. So if he is the 10th student, right, and he is ranking 49 from the other end, so we can write 49 minus 1, and if we add both it comes 58. So from statement 1 we can say that there are 58 number of students in the class. From statement 2 also we can say that there are 58 number of students in the class, right? So both statement says that there are 58 number of students, correct? So if we go back to this one, so we can say that option 1 or 2 is sufficient, right? We don't need both the statements together to drive to a conclusion from either statement 1 or statement 2. Any one of it, with any one of the statements we can come to the conclusion that there are 58 number of students in the class. Are you getting the point? From the first one it is clearly stated that his friend rank 58 is the last rank, so total number of candidates will be 58. The second one, it says that J's rank is 49th from the other end. So in the first line it is saying that J is 10th student. So if I just write 10 plus 49 from the other end, and I am minus 1 is the J's number which I have subtracted, because I took him as 10th. No, I took him as 10th student. From the first line it is mentioned that he is the 10th student, so I have to subtract him from the 49 because I took him already in the 10th position, right? So he is in the 10th position, plus I took the rest 49 minus 1 which is he himself, because I took him already. No, so 10 plus 49 minus 1, that comes 10 plus 48 which is equals to 58. This is the number of students in the class. So both statements suggest that the total number of students is 58 only. So with any one of the statements we are coming to the conclusion that total number of students is 58, right? So here I will give the option, this one, option number C, that with any of the statement is sufficient, either 1 or 2. So here I will write option C as your best statement. Now moving on, next question is here. What is Tom's age? Simple question, and they gave statement like this one, two statements. First statement is Tom could not appear last exam because he is 2 months short than 18 years, which is required for the exam. This is your first statement. Second statement is he will be able to vote this year because voting age is 18, minimum voting age 18. So we will try to derive the answer from these statements. See, we have to find Tom's age with these two statements. Tom का एज निकालना है दो स्टेटमेंट से. फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट says that Tom could not appear last exam because he is 2 months shorter than 18 years. So is this statement sufficient to say how much, what is the age of Tom? Definitely yes, because it says clearly that he is 2 months short than 18 years. So 18 years minus 2 months. So his age is 17 years 10 months. Statement 1 is well and good. It says Tom's age, right? Now let us go to statement 2. Statement 2 mentions that he will be able to vote this year because minimum voting age is 18 years. वो इस साल वोट दे सकता है क्योंकि मिनिमम वोटिंग एज 18 साल है. सो ये तो टॉम का एज नहीं बोल रहा है, राइट? वी कैनॉट डिराइव टॉम्स एज फ्रॉम दिस स्टेटमेंट बिकॉज this is a general statement, right? Voting age is 18 years and he will be able to vote. How can we derive Tom's age from this? हम इतना बोल सकते थे टॉम का एज 18 साल इसी साल होगा, ये बोल सकते हैं, बट अभी कितना एज है दैट वी कैनॉट से. सो दिस स्टेटमेंट इज नॉट कंक्लूसिव और वी कैनॉट derive Tom's age from second statement, but from first statement yes, definitely. So I will go here with option A. What does option A says? Is your option A that statement 1 is sufficient? Statement 1 is sufficient, right? Chalo. Next we will see another question. So this asks, how many brothers does रामू हैव? रामू के कितने भाई हैं? Now statement 1 and 2. Statement 1 says Ramu's father has 3 children. Statement 2 says Ramu has 2 sisters. So let's try to solve it. So question is, how many brothers does Ramu have? We have to find brothers of Ramu. Statement 1 is Ramu's father has 3 children. So now we can say that Ramu has 3 siblings. We still don't know how many brothers have. So this is inconclusive, that the statement 1 doesn't tell us how many brothers Ramu is having. But statement 2, Ramu has 2 sisters. Does it say something about Ramu's brother? Now Ramu has 2 sisters. Including Ramu, there are 3 childs, right? Ramu's father has 3 children. Ramu has 2 sisters. Ramu is a boy, I guess. So Ramu basically has no brother, correct? So if I say that individually with statement 1 and statement 2, we cannot say whether Ramu has any brother or not, right? But if I say both statement 1 and 2, with both these statements we can come to a conclusion that Ramu has no brother because he is the lone son. Rest 2 siblings are sisters. So both statement 1 and 2 is conclusive, but individual 1 and 2 is does not give any conclusion. So here I will, let us check with the options, and here I will go with option number E. that statement 1 and 2 are sufficient. 1 and 2. I need both the statements, not 1 or 2. Or yes, this one. So in this case, I need option 1 and 2 both, not or, 1 and 2. Because if both the statements are given, then I can say that Ramu has no brother. So I need both the options. So and 2, right? Nice. Okay, so let's move to number 6 question. Okay. It says how many cubes of ice can pervade in a vessel whose capacity is 80 cc. Little numerical type, but you don't have to do any numericals here. Just see the statements. Statement 1, statement 2. Statement 1 says the length, width, height of cube is half centimeter. Option 2 says 640 cubes of ice occupy 320 cc. Let us try to solve this. So they want to know how many cubes of ice can pervade in a vessel whose capacity is 80 cc. So 80 cc के एक बर्तन में कितना आइस क्यूब्स एकोमोडेट हो सकता है. So statement 1 gives us the length of the cube, length, width, height of the cube, right? So एक क्यूब का पूरा डायमेंशन दे दिया है फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट में ही. सो या विद दिस वी कैन से दैट कितना क्यूब चाहिए 80 cc का बर्तन भरने के लिए. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट से 640 क्यूब्स ऑफ आइस ऑक्यूपाइज 320 cc. इससे भी हम निकाल सकते हैं कि इतना क्यूब से इतना क्वांटिटी आप भर सकते हो वेसल का. इससे भी हम निकाल सकते हैं कि 80 cc कितने क्यूब के साथ भर सकते हो. बोथ 1 and 2 कैन से how many cubes are required. So the best option will be that from any of the statements, दोनों से, right, individually we can say, we can find out the number of cubes definitely. So here with option 1 individually or option 2 both are sufficient, means they individually are sufficient. So the option that says that 1 or 2 are sufficient to derive the conclusion or derive the answer that how many cubes are required. इससे भी आप मालूम कर सकते हो, ऑप्शन 2 के साथ भी आप मालूम कर सकते हो, 1 और 2, राइट. उसका पहले का आंसर था 1 and 2 बिकॉज यहाँ उसका पहले क्वेश्चन का दोनों स्टेटमेंट्स को चाहिए, दोनों को चाहिए, बट यहाँ पे आप किसी एक से भी मालूम कर सकते हो. सो आई होप यू आर गेटिंग द डिफरेंस ऑफ different questions, right? Okay, let's move to another question. So क्वेश्चन है यहाँ पे सिंपल है, फाइंड द सेल ऑफ कंपनी. कंपनी का कुछ डाटा है इन 2 स्टेटमेंट्स 1, स्टेटमेंट 2. तो स्टेटमेंट 1 tells us that the company sold 8,000 piece to A at 25 per piece. ये है एक स्टेटमेंट. सेकेंड स्टेटमेंट है दिस कंपनी does not manufacture any other product. Let's try to solve. So यहाँ पे पूछा है कंपनी का सेल, to find out the sale of company. Statement 1 says that the company sold 8,000 pieces to a person A at 25 per piece. So from statement 1 can we say what is the sale of company? Definitely not. एक आदमी को 25 रुपये पर पीस करके 8,000 पीस सेल किया है, लेकिन इससे तो पूरा कंपनी का सेल वी कैनॉट से, नो. ये तो सिर्फ एक आइटम का कुछ पीस के आइडियाज़ हो रहे हैं कि कुछ पीस का सेल ऐसा हो सकता है, बट पूरा कंपनी का सेल तो फ्रॉम दिस स्टेटमेंट वी कैनॉट से. सेकंड स्टेटमेंट से दिस कंपनी डजंट मैन्युफैक्चर एनी अदर प्रोडक्ट. ये तो सेल्स और इसका बात चल रहा है कि व्हाट प्रोडक्ट द कंपनी सेल्स और दिस प्रोडक्ट डजंट सेल, बट उससे पूरा कंपनी का सेल वैल्यू हाउ कैन वी डिराइव फ्रॉम दिस स्टेटमेंट. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो इनकंक्लूसिव. So I will go with option that states, so option 1 and 2 both are not sufficient. Both are not sufficient, right? With one also we cannot find, with 2 also we cannot find, so both are insufficient. This will be your answer, right? Chalo. Now moving on to your 3 more questions left and we will wrap up the session. Oh, 2 more questions, right? One question I've discussed earlier. Okay. So this question says find out Raju's age. So they will give some. This is a tricky question, so just pay attention, right? There are 2 statements. From these 2 statements you have to find Raju's age. See, so first is Raju, Vimala, Kishore. They all are same age. All are of same age. Every statement is important. Pay attention. Next statement says sum of age of Vimala, Kishore and Abhishek. is 32 and Abhishek age equals female and Vimala and Kishore age. This is some really one tricky question. So let's try to find out Raju's age. So see, first statement says that Raju, Vimala, Kishore, they all are same age. Raju, Vimala, Kishore, same age. This is your first. This I have derived from your first statement. Talking about your second statement, sum of age of Vimala, Kishore, Abhishek. Vimala, Kishore, Abhishek. All the sum of their ages is 32. Abhishek age equals Vimal and Kishore age. So Abhishek age equals Vimal and Kishore. So with all this data, we have to find what is the age of Raju, correct? So I hope up to this is clear. Okay. So now see, Vimal, Kishore and Abhishek, all of their ages is 32, correct? Now Abhishek age is equals to Vimal and Kishore age together. It is from here we can say that here if अगर सबका एज यहाँ पे 32 है So it must be that Abhishek age is equals to Vimal plus Kishore. That means Abhishek age should be 16. That automatically means Vimal and Kishore together is 16. Are you able to understand? अगर ये तीनों का एज 32 है एंड अभिषेक का एज ये दोनों का एज के साथ बराबर है, that means that Abhishek age is 16 and their age is 16. That makes it 32, right? See, Vimal plus Kishore if it is 16, Abhishek age is 16, that makes it 32. And their age is 16 means what? इसका 8 होगा, इसका भी 8 होगा, correct? Then there is 16, right? So if Vimal is, because how I can say that? See, Raju is equals to Vimal equals to Kishore. So if Vimal is equals to Kishore, that means और उन दोनों का एज 16 है तो ये इसका 8 होगा, इसका 8 होगा, because they are equal. And in the first line itself it says that Raju is also equal to Vimal equals to Kishore. That means Raju का एज भी 8 होगा, 8 years. So यहाँ तक पहुँचने के लिए हमको दोनों ऑप्शन चाहिए, दोनों स्टेटमेंट चाहिए. So I will say both 1 and 2 sufficient to reach to the answer. Very tricky question but very interesting one. So I will explain once again. नया स्लाइड तो ले नहीं सकते, इसमें ही करेंगे. विमला, किशोर, अभिषेक तीनों का मिला के 32 है, राइट? एज अभिषेक का एज विमल और किशोर के साथ एक है. दैट मीन्स अभिषेक का 16 होगा और ये दोनों का मिला के 16 होगा. फर्स्ट में लिखा है हुआ था कि राजू, विमला, किशोर तीनों का एज इक्वल है. दैट मीन्स इनका 8 होगा, इनका भी 8 होगा. एंड ऑब्वियसली फॉर दिस रीजन राजू का भी 8 ही होगा. So both 1 and 2 are sufficient. So are you getting these problems? Okay, let us discuss the last one. ये थोड़ा I took from the health science related. Okay. Does coffee drinking cause headache? ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इज जस्ट एन assumption, राइट? ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, बिकॉज कैफीन relieves headache, right? Anyway, but in a limitation, right? You have to drink in a limited way. Anyway, so coming back to the question, does coffee drinking cause headache? Statement 1. Statement 2. The stimulating of pancreas cause headache. Second one, coffee contains caffeine, which stimulates pancreas much. Okay, so this was your last question and we will try to solve it, right? So they asked that does coffee drinking cause headache? कॉफ़ी पीने के बाद क्या सर दर्द होता है? Okay, so first statement says that stimulation of pancreas cause headache. Pancreas is the enzyme. So first statement is your that the stimulation of pancreas enzyme cause headache. Pancreas enzyme in your that is produced in your stomach mainly, right? That different enzymes, जैसे आप कुछ खाते हैं उसके as soon as you take your food to digest the food, different enzymes are released from your starting from your mouth, oral cavity to your stomach and all your GIT, right? So anyway, that is not the topic of discussion here. पूछा गया कि कॉफ़ी के लिए हेडेक होता है या नहीं, राइट? ओके, the first statement है, the stimulating of your pancreas enzyme cause headache. So I don't think so pancreas enzyme stimulate होने से headache होता है. No, this is not a, talking from health sciences point of view, this is not a point to be considered. Second statement पूछा गया, coffee contains caffeine, correct, which stimulates pancreas enzyme. That is also correct, but stimulating of pancreas enzyme cause headache. Okay, so if I consider, because we have to go here this one statement wise and not medical science wise. So if I talk about statement wise, from the first statement, can we say coffee drinking cause headache? I don't think so. From the first statement we cannot say this. And second statement, that coffee pancreas को stimulate करता है. From this statement also we cannot say that. So if we combine these two statements, can we say now? According to the question, yes, we can say. So talking about this particular question, yes, I will say that option 1 and option 2 together are sufficient. I am not talking for regarding our medical point of view, because there are many factors. How much ml is required, what is the toxicity level, how much ml will produce how much pancreas enzyme. So any NEET candidates watching this particular question, I will like to say that this I am discussing only for this particular question, not from medical science point of view, because that is a different topic. I have to say about different the quantities of the coffee that will release this much pancreas, and this much pancreas will cause this effect, right? So that is a different topic. For this topic only, I am saying that both statements are sufficient to derive to a conclusion, right? And alone statement 1 and statement 2 individually do not help us in reaching to a conclusion. Anyway, this was our topic of discussion today, and hope by now you understood that all this one statements and reasoning type questions. And in next topic we will see another session of coding, decoding series, etc. So I will take all sessions and I will compile them in a playlist. This video is the first among your playlist, right? So thank you. We will meet in another video, right? Thanks.